On today's episode of Open Box Policy, Devin is going to try to be a sci-fi writer, and we all think that he's going to end up basically being Philip K. Dick at some point.
Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and jump on the bandwagon and know me before I get famous, you can go ahead. You can find me on Instagram and stuff. So
yeah, you can find me on Instagram at wishes Philip K. Dick. Yeah. Yeah.
Wish I was a dick.
Yeah, wish I was a Philip K. Dick.
Right.
We geek out on Game of Thrones. We geek out on Game of Thrones, and that is going to lead me into the most important topic. I have my lady friend on, the lady friend Cometh.
That's the last episode of the new Game of Thrones season.
Yeah, exactly. Season 8, Lady Friend Cometh. Yeah. So we have Jacqueline on. You all have heard me talk about Jacqueline numerous times. We finally have her on. It is going to be a good episode. Jamie was taking a vacation. She's with her kids. She's in Indiana enjoying herself. So we wanted to bring a guest on, and we hope you all enjoy it.
Also, major spoilers for today's episode. We dish out some Game of Thrones moments from the past seasons. Honestly, if you're not caught up by now, it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
If you'd like to connect with us on socials and tell us how much you hate us for spoiling Game of Thrones for you, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at OBP_raw. You can also send us your favorite Game of Thrones theories on our email at...
OBPpodcast at gmail.com. You can't fucking do it.
I wanted to say open box policy at Gmail. OBPpodcast at gmail.com.
Perfect.
Thanks, Jamie. Okay. Well, sometimes you don't even have to hear me,
Exactly.
Yes, we do. I like to hear you. When I
Nice,
listen to the
thank
podcast, really, you have great insight, and sometimes it's soft, and I'm like, need to hear
Nice.
you more. Yes.
I have a soft voice, not a powerful one
tone
like
Adam
yours.
down a bit, and then bring Devin up.
What is it with every woman?
I have the democracy voice. Adam has the dictator voice.
Yeah, but what is it with every woman that we bring on here thinking that they need to build you up and tell you? It happens every time. Even
Because
Anna's
you
like,
shut everybody
Devin,
down
you're my
sometimes.
favorite. You need to meet Anna. She's good.
'Cause he's on
I
my
can't take the
computer.
pressure.
Yeah.
He lives
That's
in
it.
Atlanta.
That's what she told me, Jacqueline. She was Anna was talking about how I can't take criticism, and I just get butthurt about it. And she was like, "That's why everybody makes fun of Adam, because he can take it."
Aww.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. Yeah.
It's still funny.
Yeah.
Well-
I actually had a guy at work. This is no lie.
No, before you say that, it's a little side note. He likes to think that he can take criticism, but deep down, he really can't.
Right, deep down it hurts him, and he
It
thinks
does.
about it all the time.
Yeah. But then it just fuels my hate fire.
Yes. Because, yes. So, little tidbit.
A little tidbit from my lady friend.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yes.
So I was ragging on this guy at work. He's like a grown man, and he likes to goof off a lot. So I like to goof off a lot. And so, you kind of start going back and forth, and we were in a meeting, and I didn't say anything disrespectful or anything like that. He just kind of made some goofy comment, and I ragged on him about it, and everyone laughed. And then after the meeting, he came to me and was like, you kind of went a little hard on me in there, man. Like I don't understand. Like
He's
do we
that
have
type of person.
He's like, do we have a problem? Do we have a problem? And I
He
was
gave
like,
you the control. Like, the moment somebody does it, it's just like, I'm going to eat you alive.
yeah. Well, the funny thing is that I didn't. I took the road of going like, oh, of course not, of course not. Like, I like everyone that works here is my ally. We are allies. We're in this together. And in these meetings, when people goof on me all the time, they're goofing on me, and I'm goofing on you, and we're all having a heart. We're just kind of getting it all out on each other, and nobody's getting butthurt. Everyone's having a good time. And I was like, no. Like, don't do that. But I said, I'm like, but I mean, if you're having a hard time with it, like, I'll lay off. Like, I apologize. I'm not trying to ruffle
That probably
your
hurt
feathers.
him worse than your actual comment. It's like, I mean, if you're going to be a pussy about it.
Exactly. I just said that in a really professional way.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I could have been like, but bro, I mean, like, if you're just a huge puss, I'll stop, you know? Yeah, it was
Call him
terrible.
a twat.
That's what they
I'm
said
a twat?
about me.
No, I said just call him a twat.
Call him a twat, yeah. What a great word. Twat is a
Twat.
great word.
Yeah. I mean,
What's the like the origins of twat?
that's a great
How did
question.
that come up? I'm going to research it
Well,
right now.
Twat
you
coming
got
forward?
your computer. I was about to pull it up on my phone.
That's a great,
Fucking
TWAT?
TWAT.
It sounds like a made. I mean, technically, all words are made.
It's probably a
but
medical
It
term.
sounds like a made up word. It's probably a medical term. Yeah.
I don't know.
Really? Maybe we took a medical term and like shortened it.
Not anagrams, but
TWAT.
Yeah.
What would that stand for?
right, exactly, like a medical term. I don't know.
I have to be very careful what I search here.
TWAT. Too wet and tempting.
Too wet and
Actually,
tempting.
Too wet and tempting. TWAT.
Too wet and tempting.
Yeah. 2019, bro. Man, I'm gonna cut the cord. I've decided. I have internet and everything through Comcast, and I've got outrageously expensive cable, and I mean I only use it a little bit, and I think one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to take all my hardware down, and I'm going to say I'm going to cut the cord. Just give me like a nice new router or something that I can just use my internet on, and
Just
whatever.
do an HD antenna. I mean, those are great.
Yeah, they
you
are.
can get 30 channels, what you need, and then you can just stream anything else you want with the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to cut the
That's the best
cord.
way.
I'm going to have like HBO Go and
Yeah.
you know because
HBO now, yeah.
I'm going to HBO Now or whatever
Right.
it is.
Because
yeah.
Game of Thrones is coming in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So I'm super pumped.
Yeah, I finally decided I'm going to cut the cord. Oh, by the way, for all of our fans out there that enjoy Game of Thrones, Jacqueline was my like spirit guide through Game of Thrones, and I binge watched it. We did it in about 2-3 months.
I would say 2.5, yeah.
What?
Maybe
Did you finally power through it?
2.5 months every episode.
Never seen it, yeah.
Hell
Never
yeah,
seen an
dude.
episode in my life. I had only seen the little tidbits, like when the mountain crushes the dude's head.
Yeah, don't spoilers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean-
whoa.
Just kidding.
Spoiler warning. Jesus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sorry, there's that one scene in 7 seasons
Like you knew about the red
that
wedding.
spoils the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Like you knew about the red wedding. You knew about a couple
Yeah.
different things. Yeah.
Well, and it's because so many people had
yes.
talked about it.
Shame. Bull-
Yeah.
shame. Yeah.
Yeah. But none of what the red wedding was spoiled, but I didn't realize how
The intensity of it.
awful it was.
Yeah. How
Um,
sudden it was in the show.
Yes.
yeah.
Like
And
Walder
I mean,
Frey.
even watching the show, the way that it's set up, you don't expect it. You're like, this is like, I don't understand. What's the big deal?
Yeah.
And then it's just like a pin drops and
Right.
I tell you what, rewatching
mayhem.
it is even. I mean, you just catch on to those things.
Yeah.
That I mean, I've seen 1 through 4. I think this is my 3rd or 4th time, and then 5 through 6, 3, and then my first time to rewatch 7.
Yeah, she's like
And all of a
like
sudden,
a master.
I am
Yeah.
not. Don't eat
she's
it. Like,
she's probably
I have
like
to-
Anna, dude.
No.
We're actually
She knows like
rewatching the series.
Hodor's like family tree and shit.
No,
Right.
I have to Google some, but like you kind of pick up on different things.
Right. Yeah, and
Um,
that's funny that you bring that up because like I was talking to Anna because we're rewatching the series too. We just started season 4. She's downstairs watching it right now. But yeah, I brought it up like I'm like Rob Stark totally brought that shit on himself, but you just didn't pick up on it. Right, you just don't pick up
Yeah.
on it the first time you watch it. And
Yeah.
the second time you go through and you're like, "Yep, that's where he fucked himself." You know?
Yes.
Well, Renly too. Renly Baratheon, like he should have never claimed himself king. He was the
No.
youngest brother.
No.
He
What a
never
jackass, right?
never had a chance. You know. Well, then what I really picked up too this past time was the Valyrian steel, kind of
Oh, yeah.
where all the swords are.
Mm-hmm.
And the different, I knew the names, but kind of like figuring out where they all are. They get lost and then they come back and.
Oh yeah, it's
Kind of the
it's well
connections.
written. It is
Yes.
a well written show.
Yes.
Adam,
it-
after rewatching everything, are you like super excited for season 8 like we are?
Yes.
well, this is his first time to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've
This
rewatched
is,
it. He didn't.
she
Yeah.
rewatched it. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is my first time. Yes, I am super excited, and I did it the way that I actually because I'm so ADD. I appreciate binge watching something because then it's all very fresh in my mind.
Right.
Game of Thrones, and there was one more show that I watched that I loved that I had a really hard time getting through. Or I don't mean Game of Thrones. Walking Dead. Walking Dead. It's so long between the seasons. I would literally forget.
Game of Thrones is the same way, though.
Yeah, I would forget what happened.
I mean,
and I don't want to go back and like have to rewatch it.
Yeah.
So if you get to like season 6 or 7, and by then I'm just bankrupt.
See, Adam,
I just can't watch it.
Adam was very spoiled when a major something,
Yeah.
Red Wedding, right? The season finale, essentially, or the last. Like, you have to wait a week, and I kept telling him that. I'm like, imagine watching this on Sunday
And
night
having to
and
wait.
a week.
Yep.
Right.
Or the season finale. I'm like, you are being very spoiled in the sense of
Super.
getting it.
Well,
Game of Thrones is the one show that I would actually watch Sunday nights and wait.
And that's the thing about that episode. They did it so well, and they didn't play any music at the end.
Yes.
Like, you're just left there like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Psychological.
well, and I
It
got
is.
lucky.
Well,
'cause-
Reigns of Castamere too, like that whole the song that plays.
Yeah,
with
that
Lady
was
Stark.
mentioned back in season 2 or something like that.
Season 1. It's
Yeah.
when it comes up a lot, and then when you actually notice it, it starts popping up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, quite often. And all of a sudden, I'm like, Reigns of Castamere. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? It's the Lannisters' like warning song, essentially.
Well, it was
Weird about
nice
the
for me
screen.
to watch it with someone like Jacqueline that is literally like a road map. So there were numerous times where she
Google.
would pause it, say what?
Google.
Yeah, well, but I won't. I would just watch it and be like, oh, that's kind of confusing. I'm not that type of person. I don't want to
Well,
have to.
you don't know what to look for either.
So she
that's the
helped
thing.
me
Yeah.
and would say, stop, pause. So do you understand that this guy and this guy, do you understand like he has black hair? Do you know what that means?
I
Like
didn't
this
say
guy
it
has
so
red hair. Do you know what that
abruptly.
means? Or,
Right.
and do
She
you understand?
pointed you in the right direction.
Yeah, she would keep talking about Robert's Rebellion. And I was like, okay,
I wouldn't give him all the info, but I'm just
Okay,
like,
we
hey, like,
fucking get it.
we get it.
questions, yeah.
Robert rebelled. He was angry.
And then I would ask him, and I'm like, what is Robert's Rebellion about? And he wouldn't know. I'm like, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's-
like in season
that's
2 or 3, I'd be like, I don't know.
yeah. I'm like,
You know.
okay.
But it's funny.
So-
It's like now the whole like tree of Game of Thrones and kind of the how cyclical it is and how it all kind of comes back around to another winter and you start to be able to understand it a lot more, even though there's still things that don't make sense to me. But I get confused. well, yeah. How could you not?
I think people do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there a moment in Game of Thrones that you had no idea was going to happen and wasn't spoiled for you? Or what's the most surprising moment that happened that wasn't spoiled for you?
Ooh, great question.
Wow. Let me think.
Did you see Jon Snow dying?
I knew. Okay, so that's another thing. Everyone was crying and bitching about Jon Snow. He's not dead. He's not dead. I mean, everybody at work was coming in. I mean, people were like weeping and misty out about it. I was unbelievably surprised that it was his own men. That he was.
Ollie.
Oh, by the way,
Ollie.
hold on. Let's stop for a second.
kid.
Hey, everybody! Spoiler alert: Jon
Oh,
Snow
yeah.
was killed by his own
Hey.
men.
We'll say
Yeah.
that in the intro,
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. On today's episode, we just
Spoiler.
fuck Game of Thrones. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Don't ever watch it. But that really, really surprised me. And I'll tell you something else that, Jacqueline told me, like every once in a while it'll get really like weird and like ghosty and mystifying. And when that girl goes into a cave and births
Bron.
out a black smoke monster
Oh.
that goes and kills that dude,
Hell yeah.
Melisandre. Yeah.
yes, I was
yeah.
like, what the fuck is this? I mean, I was like legit, like, this is fucking insane, man.
Yeah,
and then,
I had
and
to
then what's
explain
funny
that part because
yeah,
my
he gets
friend
killed.
he was like, so was there magic in this show? And I had a hard time answering, and I was like, it's not really considered magic. It's more of like a religious
Religion,
type deal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good. But I mean, Brienne of Tarth keeps like bringing it back up, and
Well, yeah, she was there. It's like
she was watching it.
Well,
Yeah.
she was sworn to Renly.
Yeah.
And then went and like he accepted her into his Knight's Guard.
Yeah.
As of like one of the first women, and then all of a sudden she sees like the face of Stannis and this black ghostly figure.
Yeah.
Come out of nowhere with Lady Stark there too.
That was nuts. I'll tell you one
That's
thing.
where Brienne comes into play because she's like sworn to like get the revenge on him.
Oh yeah,
Jacqueline,
you're so like hard about Game of Thrones, just like
I really,
Anna is,
I do. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
She gets
very
like
excited.
she gets like 8-inch erections over Game of Thrones. It's
wish.
crazy.
Anna gets 8-inch erections.
Yeah, it's bigger than mine, dude.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say, can you tell Anna like show me how? Like,
My Ben Wall
how to
balls
push
hurt.
out those last 3 inches?
But she, had to push out those last 3.
Just circles.
Yeah.
Circles.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, every major thing that happens like totally affects her in real life.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Speaking of, all right, we're gonna move in a new direction.
I know. Okay.
Devin
Yes.
posted on Facebook that he is thinking about writing a sci-fi TV drama.
Ooh, I like
Yeah,
it.
dude. So
And- but the funny thing is, he went on Facebook asking for ideas.
Fuck yeah.
Well,
why not?
I ask for ideas because if there's anyone on my Facebook that like really thought of a story or
Yeah.
figured out something that would be cool, just
So
an
you could
overlying
steal it?
story arc, I would just like kind of push it in the right direction and kind of write it.
Yeah, I love
Obviously, if
So-
it was picked up,
No.
like in a 1,000 years, if it was picked up, I would credit them or some shit.
It's
But,
happened on Reddit a lot. Reddit, there's a whole section on Reddit where people write in these little short stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
And there have been numerous lawsuits because they're so
Well-
good.
Well, you sign going into Facebook. Your agreement or terms of policy. Anything you put on Facebook, your photos, your writing, they own it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ours.
It's
Yeah, and
exactly.
I'm sure Reddit has the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I mean,
yeah,
it's
I agree
Yeah,
with
but it's
Adam,
crazy.
like-
There's been lawsuits over that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So-
some people get on there and they just like pour their entire life into this story, and
Which
it's
is
so
great.
good to read it
Yeah.
that some people just pick up on it and make a series out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your I don't know, what ideas did you get or what like? What are you
I
gonna
got a
write about?
I got a few good ideas. One of my best friends was talking about some kind of like deja vu story and how it relates to like different dimensions and stuff. So like basically us having deja vu is us remembering or us like viewing our life in a different dimension. So that kind of piqued my interest. I kind of want to do like a Western sci-fi mystery thriller, if that makes sense.
Already been done, bro. Westworld.
That's
Do it better.
Mostly AI, but I want it to take place like late 1800s in the West, because a lot of shit was a huge mystery back then.
Yeah.
Like,
Cowboys
if
and
you see
aliens. They already did it.
yeah, with
Can't do it
Daniel
better.
Craig.
Yeah. No, I
James
see what you're
Bond.
saying. I think it would be
Yeah.
really cool. We always think of sci-fi as like super futuristic.
Right.
But I mean, what if there were a world, what if there were a place that were just super advanced compared to what we are, but that their reality was still in like the Wild West, the desert.
Yeah,
very
that's
well could be
exactly
the-
what I'm getting at.
Where they,
Yeah.
they like, they actually have like 6-shooters and they, you know what I mean?
Maybe we're in
Cars
another
were never
reality,
invented.
and that reality is actually happening now. I don't know. The
That's
parallel
true.
universe world, I think, is a great way to go.
if we're
Yeah.
if we're gonna
we
get
just need to end the
super
podcast.
sci-fi
Jacqueline
into
just fucking dropped a bomb.
it. right.
Yeah.
What if
By the
this
way,
isn't-
you're not real and this is a simulation.
I mean,
Peace out.
You think about it.
So I'll tell you how I came up with these
Okay.
idea of like actually trying to write a story. Recently,
Is it because
I've
you don't
actu-
have a job and you need money?
Well, but recently
Low
I've
blow,
actually
Adam, not
been
necessary.
I've actually been acting as a background extra here in Atlanta.
So what does that mean exactly?
So that means I go to set, and a lot of TV shows and movies have to have background people to
Yeah.
make it, look like a background scene. So I've signed up with a few agencies here in Atlanta, and I've actually been on 2 different sets,
Really?
Sunday and Monday, acting as a background extra.
Yeah.
And how do you even go about signing up?
Honestly, it's
You
such
find
a
you find it on Backpage.
Oh,
yeah. You find it on the deep dark web.
I need someone who's morally bankrupt and likes to be slapped.
No, there's different casting agencies that are solely dedicated to background extras here in Atlanta. Most
But you
of
get
them,
paid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you get paid. It's not very good pay, but
Yeah.
it usually balances around like $10 an hour. But honestly, like the things that you're doing, I mean, that's pretty good for the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first day, I only was doing my scene for maybe an hour out of my 10-hour shift that I was doing.
Wow.
The rest of the time was waiting.
Yeah.
That's the part that gets you. So that's
Really?
what, after my first day, I was like, you know what I'm going to do I'm going to like do something smart with my time and start like writing a story, you know, because I've always wanted, that's like my dream goal is to write and direct movies or TV shows.
Yeah.
So I got high dreams here.
Will you let me do
those are very high dreams, yeah.
that? I'm
go
like
and
super
go
proud
for
of
the
it.
EGOT. Yeah, start with TV shows.
What I always wanted to do was make a paycheck that just supported me and my family, and made me pay my bills. And then I had like a little bit left over to put in savings. Like that was my dream. I would love if you ever become big. I would love to do
when you become big. Devin.
I appreciate that, Jacqueline.
I know Jacqueline is so optimistic that it's sickening. I'll go to get in the shower and I'm like, oh, God, it's gonna be a long day. She's like, no, it's gonna be a great day, and I'm like, oh my God.
She jerks open the curtain shower, the shower curtain. She's like, it's gonna be a great day.
Yeah, and I'm like, I cracked an egg. She's like, no, we're starting the process of making eggs. I'm like, okay, like I fucking love you, but shut up.
She's like the Kool-Aid man. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She busts through the wall. She's like, it's fucking awesome. I absolutely love it though. I love it. So if you ever start doing movies, if you ever start doing anything,
when you start doing TV shows, then you go to movies.
I'm sorry, when I would love to do some voiceover work for you.
Oh, for sure. So I've always thought of you. I plan to start making videos of my own. I was actually talking to my friend here, but I'm like, would you be interested in making this thing called 20-Second Tuesdays, where we just think of like a little short storyline and we do like a 20-second well put together video, like a professional 20-second video, and release them like every Tuesday. And they're different stories each time. It could be like a short comedy series, just like a little skit kind of deal.
So is it strictly vocal, or would be like a?
No, it would be visual. So
yeah.
So him and I would be filming and acting and like setting everything up, and I'm thinking of it as like super professional. But
so like a little bit like a triple Vine.
Right. So we might need some voiceover work, Adam, and of course I would like provide a script and everything, but.
That would be perfect.
That's
I've done that in the past where someone would send me a script and I would come up to the studio, I'd read it like 15 times.
Yep.
And then basically send it to them and say, here, you cut it together, you do whatever you want. They'll be like, yo, can you read the phone number faster? Can you do this? Can you do that? I mean, I've done that kind of stuff all the time.
Honestly, you could probably sign up for some like voice acting like websites where you create your own profile and stuff, and you record different samples and stuff like that, and people can go on there and hire you through that.
I've thought about it.
Freelance.
I thought about it, and I'm going to let you all in on something that kind of freaked me out. So I went on to one of those websites basically, and there was so much good talent on there that
it scared you?
It scared me. Like, so I went on.
It intimidated you.
It did. I went on, and I was like, I'm just going to click on this guy, and it says like 45 to 47-year-old man. And he had, you could tell that he had like a professional setup. And he was like, in a world where everybody wants to kill her. And I was like, oh my God. And
that's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, he had like sound effects and shit. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
I feel like this just circles back to the beginning when I said that Adam is, has that confidence, but really deep down he's a little terrified.
Oh yeah. He's a little intimidated by actual talent.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because Adam is he is off his microphone right now.
Yes.
He can't defend himself. So
exactly.
This is my only jab at Adam before he gets back on, and he's getting back on right now.
I'm like a total little bitch baby at heart. Like I'm weak and I'm crumbly, and
I think going, the voiceover is a great idea. But going back to you, Devin, like I'm interested to know like how
totally
Yeah, like the background thing is working. I don't know. Like,
Totally.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
awesome.
So
yeah, I
it's,
know. I told
Yeah.
him tonight that I really
Yeah.
wanted to talk about it because
Yeah.
I'm like,
So
this
back
is
to
fucking
that.
awesome. I love it.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy because you're on certain occasions, like you're 5 feet away from someone fucking famous.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to somebody on one of the sets that I was on Monday, and they said they did. They were a background extra in Zombieland 2, and they said they had a seat right beside Jesse Eisenberg in Zombieland 2, and like they just have to sit there kind of deal and act as a background.
Yeah.
So they can't be like
Don't
shocked
look
this
at
is
the
Jesse
camera.
Eisenberg. Yeah, she said she was like 5 feet away from Woody Harrelson. I'm like, dude, I would freak the fuck out
Yeah.
if Woody Harrelson
Yeah.
was in the same room.
It'd just
But
be
I mean, you're a background extra. I mean, if you can talk to the actors, but it's
Yeah.
like kind of frowned upon. But most of the time they're cool and they'll talk
there's a
to you.
hierarchy. I'm
Right,
sure.
right. Most of the time they're cool and you know they'll be super nice to you and stuff like that. You know, because it's their job. But it's crazy like some of the stories that I've heard from other background people who do it basically full time.
Yeah.
Like I said, the pay is not very good. It usually balances out to about $10 an hour.
Yeah.
If you work overtime, you get time and a half. So that's when the pay starts really getting good. But usually they book you for like 8, 10, or 12 hours.
Yeah. And you just
So
wait
by
the
the
whole time.
by the time you hit overtime, you're like, fuck, I want to go home. You know.
I remember
Yeah,
when-
but it sucks because that's 8 or 10 hours at like, you know, a little bit above minimum wage or whatever. And I mean, but like you said, so you're doing it smart. A lot of those people probably just hang out and eat bagels and, you know, drink coffee. Like you're actually taking that time and saying, this is valuable time.
Right.
And I'm going to start writing and I'm going to start doing other things.
well,
because
it's connection.
Exactly.
It's networking. You know?
Well,
It's-
so yeah, it's
Yeah.
it is. It's valuable time. It's very valuable time, and that's good. But at the same time, I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of extra actors that never go anywhere. You know, and some
Oh,
of them
yeah.
just they don't have the drive, they
Yeah,
don't
well,
have the connections or
Yeah,
whatever.
some of them are just fine with being a background extra. You know.
Yeah.
But it's really crazy to see how everything comes together on like a TV show set or like a movie set or something like that.
Yeah, the back.
Because
yeah.
literally the first day, like I said, I was maybe doing the background work for about an hour out of my 10-hour day. The rest was just like waiting for them to like set everything up or, you know, waiting to hear from them about like when our next scene's going to be. The second day that I was on set, it turned into a 13-hour day. I was only booked for 10 hours.
Wow.
So I got like 3 hours of overtime. But the second day, I was maybe waiting around for an hour. The rest of the time, I was like actually in the scene or a part of the scene, like watching it be set up. You know, having them roll the clips and I'm in the background and stuff like that. So I was very, I guess you would say involved in that second set because there was like zero waiting around because they needed us all day. So, but yeah, I say the craziest thing about it is watching it all come together and literally being in the same room, if not 5 to 10 feet away from somebody that you fucking see on TV all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's probably the craziest part. But I
What-
enjoy it.
That's pretty interesting.
What show
Yeah, so-
was it? What show? It was something we would know?
So both of the shows that I've been on are pilots for new TV series. One was called... Let's see. The first one I was on was called Heart of Life. The second one was called Baker and the Beauty. So hopefully they get picked up so you guys can see me. But both of those shows, I was like pretty close to the camera in the background. Like one of them, one of them take place in a club.
I love that you talk just like an extra actor.
I know,
Like,
right?
I was so close to the camera, bro.
Yeah. So I was talking.
So close.
I was talking to my friend. I was like, "Yeah, first day on set was kind of tough," and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He
Yeah.
was like, "Dude, you're on set as a background actor, and you're talking like you're the star of the fucking TV show. Get out
Yeah,
of here!"
you're literally a tackling dummy. Like,
Right.
yeah.
I literally walk across in the background, and I'm like, "Man, first day on set was so
So-
tough."
My feet are so tired, bro.
So I have a question then. Okay, so kind of not recapping, but going back. So you were mentioning that you were you wanted to do a sci-fi, right?
Right.
And that
Yeah,
you
we need to
got
get
that
back to it.
You got that idea from being the background extra. So how did
Mm-hmm.
that come out to be? Like being the background, being
Well,
close to the
I didn't
camera?
get it from the background.
Okay.
I just wanted to utilize my waiting time as a writer, basically.
Yeah.
Because that's what I
time
want
to
to
be
do. Yeah. So it's a valuable time. I just don't want to be sitting there,
And then you went to
playing around on
Facebook
my
to
phone
get
or something like that.
creative, weird ideas.
Right. So, I have a few ideas of my own, but I wanted to get other people's ideas and maybe like kind of mesh them together.
I haven't.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Oh, it was funny. You were talking, and all of a sudden the feed just froze, and I was like,
Oh,
and
nice.
That's why I stopped. Yeah, I was like, this is a fucking great episode. It's all ruined. This is the reason why I want new internet.
Right.
No, I've been thinking about it a lot. You might not know this. We've probably talked a little bit about sci-fi and stuff before. I am a huge sci-fi fan.
Yeah, I kind of got that from you because you were talking about what's his name, Philip K. Dick or whatever, that wrote like a shit ton of sci-fi stories that have been turned into stuff.
Dude, this is insane. I wrote down here, Devin is Philip K. Dick and famous. Yeah, and an extra actor. You know,
Yeah. I'm the full Monty.
Philip K. Dick is.
I don't know anything about. Yeah.
You do.
Do I?
Yeah,
You do.
You do subconsciously.
Okay.
You know tons of Philip K. Dick. It's just that he's kind of like the quiet writer, and then they make these massive movies.
Okay.
So, Ray Bradbury, Philip K. Dick, Isaac Asimov. Who's the guy that did Star Trek?
George Rosenberry, I think.
Yeah, was that him? No, it wasn't Rosenberry.
Wait, the guy who created Star Trek, or the guy who like directed the new movies?
No, who wrote the show? You're on the right track, but it's like all these guys were these prolific sci-fi writers, but so much of their stuff, people were like, "Oh, that's so weird. That's weird." And then all of a sudden, they write something, and someone makes it into a movie, and then the masses are like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
that's amazing." So Philip K. Dick did all this crazy stuff, and then like guys like Stanley Kubrick would pick it up, like 2001, or what's the movie with
Minority Report.
Minority Report. Philip K. Dick was
sci-fi.
the movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he goes to Mars.
Total Recall.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
He would just write, and I mean it's original.
Mm-hmm.
He would just write all this weird shit, but then people were like, "Wow, we can make something out of this." But yeah, I've been thinking a lot about ideas, like original shit.
Yeah.
Because
Isn't that what ideas are?
no.
No, not really.
No, a lot of ideas are already like steamed and ironed over. It's just that you kind of twist it a little bit and people call it a new idea. That's one thing we were talking about a couple nights ago. One of the reasons why I love what Jordan Peele is doing.
Mm-hmm.
This Us and Get Out are original.
NPR has been talking about it, Us, for a couple days. It's interesting.
I
Yeah,
really
I've heard
want to
some
see it.
crazy fucking things about Us.
Yeah.
I really
Like
want to see
twist
it.
ending and
Have you
everything.
Get Out was great.
Yeah.
We've seen Get Out.
Yes. Devin, have you seen Us?
I have not. No, I haven't
haven't.
seen Get Out, but I heard it was
Yeah.
really good.
You haven't seen Get Out?
No.
I just saw
dude.
it, a month or two ago?
Yeah, but a month ago.
Yeah, it was. It did.
Did it fuck you up?
I mean, it took me in a direction I was unexpected.
You don't expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me in a way that I wasn't prepared for, and I surprisingly enjoyed it.
Yeah. And it's, I mean,
in a weird, dark, tragic way.
it's, yeah, so it's almost like a dark comedy
Yeah.
where there's parts of it where you're like, it's kind of goofy, but it's also extremely dark. And then there'll be a scene that just leaves you like mouth open. And then there'll be a scene where you're like, well, this is like, you kind of cock your head like a dog. Like, this is so weird.
Those underlying issues just kind of like
A lot of racial tension.
Yes, and they kind of hit you in a point where you're just like, oh, wow. They just kind of slap you in the face to where you can't avoid it.
It makes it very real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
Speaking
how.
of,
Go ahead.
speaking of cocking your head like a dog, I have to send you, Adam, a video of my dog that Jacqueline will thoroughly enjoy.
I met both of your dogs one time.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
So Ash, the Australian Shepherd,
Yes.
whenever a certain part plays in the Game of Thrones theme song, he starts howling.
No.
I posted
I've
on my
seen this
Instagram.
now.
Which part?
Yeah, you've seen it, dude. So it's the very first part of the theme where it like does the low violin part.
Yeah.
He hears it and he'll look up at the TV and he'll start like fucking wailing.
Amazing.
Right, and he'll start howling and he lets out this deep howl every time. It's crazy. I'll let you watch it.
Winter has come.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, I posted it on Instagram and I was like, Ash auditioning for background direwolf. Take
Yes.
one. I was so fucking clever with that post.
That's actually genius. We need to be friends. Yes. So there's a theory out there. Again, spoiler alert, but or not really spoiler, but theory out there that the direwolf, excuse me, direwolves are coming to they're creating their own army to fight
that's what
against
happens
the
in
dead.
the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then when Arya meets Nymeria, right? Season 1, she shoos him. Like, go away, Nymeria, right? After she smacks Joffrey in the face, which is awesome. But so sends her away, and then all of a sudden,
8-inch hard on.
Yes, I love it when that little bitch. Yeah, sorry. And so then season 6, I think it's season 6. So however long later, Nymeria shows up. She's like the leader of this direwolf pack, and it's amazing. And then Arya wants her to come back, and is like, it's okay. It's not it's not who you are. Also going back to season 1, boom, when her father's talking to her and he's finally decides to do the give her sword lessons, dancing, and he's like, you can also be a lady and wear dresses, and she's like, it's not me. So there's 2 connections. So
See?
big theory.
If
world
you guys
here.
could
Big
see her
theory
right
world.
now,
Yes.
she is jumping up and down out of her seat explaining this theory
I get
right
very
now.
yes.
It's
So the theory is that
I know.
Nymeria creates a bigger direwolf world, and they come and protect the living as well.
and fight the
Fight,
The
yes.
dragons.
'Cause so there's 2 left. Yeah, 2
they
direwolves.
fight the dragon.
the one dragon. Yes, I don't even
Yeah.
that whole world. I don't even know, but. No,
Yeah.
they fight for the living, so they're against the dead, which would mean one dragon. Yes.
I like how when we started this episode, Devin and I called you Evan. Devin and I were talking about what we wanted to talk about, and he was like, "Let's talk about women's issues and let's talk about."
Well, Game of Thrones is all about women's issues.
It is.
I mean,
Let's
you
talk
look
about
at
really
it.
important shit, and then we've talked about Game of Thrones, sci-fi novels,
One of
and
my
extra actors.
favorite-
in my
All right,
long
one of my
dreams.
favorite quotes from George R. R. Martin.
Here she goes.
Is it's amazing. I forgot who it was. Some male journalist.
This is
who
good.
Was asking him a question. He's like, I think it's amazing that you have these women on your show, and they're just in prominent roles, and they're, you kill off men, and these women are I don't know. And his response was I see women as human too.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. And he's like, how do you write such powerful women or something
Yes.
like that? And he was like, because women are people.
They're people. Why
Yeah.
does it have to be? Yeah, exactly. I
Right.
mean,
when is that dude gonna die, by the way?
Oh my! Well, that's also a terrifying thing. Thank God
Before the books
books
are done.
Oh my God!
Guaranteed.
Oh my God!
He's
I would. Oh, that would be
super
something
fat.
on my life. I would just never be complete. if
super
that
fat,
never-
out of shape, doesn't give a shit about himself. He's dead, dude.
No, I bet he does.
I bet he lives to 112, dude.
Yeah. He outlives us all. Yeah.
And he
God.
still hasn't written the last books.
Oh my God! No, please don't even. It would
So he's
stress-
already told the writers of the show the ending, right? He
He-
has to.
He already told what?
He's already told the writers of the show how it ends. I mean, he's got to.
yes, he did. Yes, because that's what I understand too.
Yeah.
Because
Like
he
how
hasn't
the
finished the
books
books,
end.
and he's like, "This is an idea." I
Right.
think at this point, from what I understand, Google and the internet, is that he is comfortable with how it's kind of played out with the direction of the show. So
Mm-hmm.
then he's like, "Yeah, this is the idea of it, just in case I die." Also,
Did you read the books, Jacqueline?
I did not. I have not. I've started to, and I was I don't know. I was younger and a little bit more impatient, and it was like reading the Bible. And I just
because of all the long names.
I
and
couldn't.
shit.
Yeah, like I just couldn't. And I tried to listen to it on audio, but I was a big fan of torrenting, and I downloaded a really poor audio file that was like flip to side B, and it was just really bad.
It was a Microsoft 98.
Yes,
computer.
and I couldn't make
Yeah.
it through it.
It's
It
like
was
a
really-
cassette tape.
It was, yeah. It was very poor quality,
Nice.
and I couldn't
That's
make
what,
it through it.
That's
Yeah.
what. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's fucking genius.
Yeah.
We need to take our podcast retro and like halfway through, we'd be like, remove tape and flip to side
to
B.
side
Like a
B.
British lady.
It's-
Like we'll have a
yeah.
British actress say that, and you have to stop the fucking podcast and start a new one. You
Well,
know.
going
Fuck
back,
that.
you know,
Let's go all the way back. Let's go vinyl.
all the way
Vinyl
back,
podcast.
yes.
God,
Yeah.
how expensive would that
Tell you-
be?
It'd be super expensive.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah, that would be. And it's like you don't really know what you're getting. The '90s are making a huge comeback, by the way.
They
In
are.
general, yeah.
I don't do a lot of store shopping. I don't know, clothes shopping, but I went into American Eagle or like Buck. I don't know, some store over there in the Gulch with Christina recently, and I just was so surprised. There were caboodles.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Fucking fanny packs are back.
Whoa, what the fuck is a caboodle?
Oh, fanny packs? That what you said?
Yeah.
Don't
I love
get
fanny packs.
Jacqueline
No, I love
started.
fanny.
She
I brought
Dude,
fanny
I
packs
swear to
back.
God,
I have
you
like
and Anna
6.
would
Like,
absolutely
no.
love each other.
Yes, fanny
Because
packs
she
are
is, every time she puts on a fucking fanny pack, I'm like, don't wear it, please.
Genius.
And she's
Like,
like, no,
stand-
I
They are
love my
the
fanny
best
packs.
thing.
Stand 15
I,
feet from me.
I brought
Yeah.
fanny packs back like 6 years ago. Like people
Right.
made fun of me then, and now they're a thing. I have
Yeah,
about
the
6 or
90s are
7.
making a huge
They're-
comeback, though.
Yes, caboodles, tube tops.
What are caboodles?
Well, hold on.
Kitten
Hold on.
caboodles?
What?
Like
yeah.
if I saw you in a tube top, I'd probably be
No.
I'd be pretty attracted. to you.
No, that was just weird. That's just weird. Armpit fat, like side boob,
No.
like it's just no. There's no
No.
reason for the '90s to bring back tube tops.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like they have these. Oh, it's just weird.
I love it.
Ugh.
I wish the 90s would bring back that
How about-
fucking food and treats.
Oh
for
my
kids.
god. Oh my
Food-
god, I just had a
Dude.
genius idea.
Food and treats.
What if we had a tube pack? It was a fanny pack that goes around your boobs, but you can put shit in it.
Like a wine
Genius.
pack? Like a wine bottle?
Copyrighted, trademarked. Nobody steal that idea.
Genius.
There you go. That's a way to save it.
Genius, yeah.
Yes. Tube pack.
On March 27th at 10:01 Central Time, Adam Sanderson came up
And
and
Jacqueline.
invented
And
the
Devin.
tube pack.
Right.
So you
patent
can
pending.
have you can have your change, your credit cards, and your loose money
Around
in
your chest?
in your titties. Yeah,
In your
on
titties.
on your titties.
I don't get it.
Women, do you stick cash in between your boobs? Not
Yes.
anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You know where that sandwich needs to go
introducing
now?
the tube pack. Yeah,
Ever seen the
That's where
video
you.
of the
That's where you
woman-
get your big break in voiceover.
and voiceover. Yeah, yeah, exactly. They come in red, green, blue. Yeah,
We'll go through
and
every
nude,
color.
so it can match your natural color.
Magenta, burgundy.
yeah,
Call
Not
now
as
and
appealing
get
as fanny
2
packs,
for the price of 1.
yeah. $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling.
Well, I think you need to get like the same agent he has. Devin has.
Yeah, Davin.
Yeah.
Devin.
David.
was like,
I
yeah.
swear that is
Oh,
not the
that'd be
first time
great.
I've been
That'd be a
called
great
David.
stage name.
Yeah.
No one's got the
Davin?
name Davin.
That's true.
Davin.
could be
That'd be a
Davin.
great stage name.
It's
Oh,
almost it's
I'm
evil.
gonna do that.
Do it, dude.
From
Davin.
writer Davin Hughes.
Yeah, Davin Hughes. You know, yeah, introducing Davin Hughes in his first acting role.
That could be how. That's your author. That when you write your first TV show or your book or your
Is
script,
that how they
that's what you
announce
do it as.
actors on TV shows?
That is.
Introducing Davin.
Yeah, yeah. Jerry Seinfeld in his first acting role, along with Davin Hughes.
This can't be
That's
your
how they did
audition.
90s trailers. Because like nobody knew
Yeah.
who names were back in the 90s. So they were
Exactly.
like they had to announce it. You know?
Yeah, Harrison Ford in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, no one knew who he
Indiana
was.
Jones 2.
Oh God! Well, I'm so glad we talked about women's issues. This was a great podcast.
Yeah, Game of
Right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
really brought to light some
Game of
sensitive
Thrones
issues.
is women's issues.
Yeah, Jacqueline, thank
That's
you so
part
much
of
for
it.
coming on and
Yeah.
really shedding a lot of light
Yes.
on the strife that women have to deal with on a daily basis.
I never thought I would say it, but I now truly understand how hard women have it.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah,
I feel
absolutely.
like I failed women.
No,
all
you
over
haven't.
The world.
What we've
Yes.
done is we've greased the wheels for the next podcast.
Yes.
We're going to talk. Oh, shit. Yeah, we are. We're going to come on and we're just going to start the podcast off. We're just going to be like, tell me about sex education.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a big yes.
Jacqueline's nipples just
Jacqueline,
got hard. Like,
tell me about Planned Parenthood.
Oh yeah. Yes.
see what I'm saying?
A big fan. Yeah.
So
big
now,
supporter.
are you going to come back on?
More? Yeah, I am. Will you have me?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we get her and Jamie on the same episode?
100%.
That's gonna be
We
amazing and
won't.
fun. Yeah.
We won't even get a word in edgewise.
Yes.
No,
No.
we
It'll
won't.
just be
Between
feeding,
him and Jamie, I don't even think
feeding them.
him and Jamie. I don't think anybody gets a word.
Oh God, we're gonna be like, excuse me, can I make a point here? Excuse
Then
me.
I'll,
Yes,
then I'll
it'll
like,
be that will be
yeah,
great.
I'll get mad.
That'll really be great if we can like contain it. And I'll have Jacqueline sit here. I'll have Jamie sit there. I'll just sit over here off the side.
Do you have a mic? An extra mic?
Yeah, there's an extra mic.
Oh yeah.
It'll be great. Anyway,
I'd love to. Yeah, this was fun.
it was fun.
By the way, Adam's 40th birthday is tomorrow.
Yay!
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I got it
40.
saved in my phone actually.
Do you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
You're a good friend.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, good friend. This is Devin.
This is Adam.
This is Jacqueline.
Nice.
Yeah.